All right, good Friday evening, everybody. Meteorologist John Gross. We are jumping on our social media platforms. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. I'll go ahead and share this video to my Facebook page as well. But we are talking about more severe weather. We do now have a few active severe thunderstorm warnings that we did want to bring to your attention. So we will go ahead and give this a minute or two. We'll let some people jump on. I'm going to have the comments here on my phone, so bear with me, and we'll try to answer any questions that we do have in real time. But this is what we're looking at right now. We're talking about actually 3 active severe thunderstorm warnings. We do have one now for Newaygo County. That's going to be northeastern Newaygo County. That's also going to include Mecosta County, so just to the west of Big Rapids. Pretty strong thunderstorm now moving through. Eventually moving off to the north into Lake County. You'll also be clipping western Osceola County. And then we do have another discrete cell into western Lake County. You're also talking about eastern Mason County. And as you go farther north, near Old Mission Peninsula into the Leelanau Peninsula, you're talking about Leelanau County, also under a severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be until 8:45. So this is what we're talking about again. We do have several severe thunderstorm warnings in play. We were talking about a marginal risk for the rest of this evening, going closer to midnight, very early on into our Saturday morning. Unfortunately, we are now starting to see a few of these storms. So areas near Glen Arbor, Suttons Bay, and going right towards Northport, you're going to be seeing this cell moving your way here within about the next 10 to even near 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and get back to a few of the cells that we're talking about a little bit farther downstate. So again, that's Leelanau County. You're talking about that severe thunderstorm warning now until 8:45. This looks to be a pretty nasty cell right now just to the west of Big Rapids. We're talking about that until 9:15, so that's including northeastern Newaygo County, and you're also talking about Mecosta County, western Mecosta County. That does include Big Rapids. And then we're going to have to watch areas from Reed City, western Osceola County. We'll be talking about that till 9:15. You're also technically included in that for Lake County, western Lake County. Another good cell now just to the northwest of Baldwin. So that does include Lake County. We're also talking about eastern Mason County. So let me go ahead and pull this back up. And we can put it into motion. We'll go ahead and show you what's going on. So there it is. You're talking about a pretty good cell now just to the west of Big Rapids. So this is crossing over US 131, areas from Big Rapids to Reed City. Torrential downpours, there's probably a decent hail core with this. We're talking about some of those very dark reds and even some of those purples and pinks that we're seeing there on the map. And even as you're going a little bit further northwest of Baldwin, another good discrete cell. So that's just to the north of US 10. Eventually going to be moving into Manistee County. So as you're going just to the east of Manistee, you'll be talking about that cell moving in your direction as well. So again, Big Rapids to Reed City, you're talking about severe thunderstorm warning for about the next 30 minutes or so. Pretty nasty cell. Now just moving over 131. So that's what we're talking about there. You're talking about severe thunderstorm warning for about the next 30 minutes or so. Pretty nasty cell. And let me go ahead and get into some of these comments. Emily's asking about Luther. So I would be on your guard, Luther, especially areas again into Osceola County. You're talking about this cell, and it has grown just quite a little bit over the past few minutes. So this is pretty much moving directly right up 131 in between Big Rapids to Cadillac. So that's what we're talking about there. Let's see. Well, Everett and Farwell see it. So you're talking about Everett, a little bit to the east of Reed City. I wouldn't say you're completely out of the woods, but you're definitely on the fringe of that cell. So that's what we'll continue to watch there going throughout the next few minutes. Let me see other comments that we got here. doing this on my own, so we're bear with me, guys. We're trying to make sure we get everybody involved as much as we can. Let's see, Midland. Let's go ahead and move the map. So as of right now, Midland, Tri-Cities, we're not seeing any development at the moment. It looks like a lot of the activity that we currently do have is a little bit positioned a little bit farther off to the west. So current severe thunderstorm warnings right now, Newaygo County till 9:15, Mecosta County till 9:15, Osceola County until 9:15. You're talking about Lake County until 9:15. And then you've also got Mason County. That's a little earlier. That's going to be 8:30. I think I did see someone ask about a little bit farther north. So here's the radar a little bit farther north. And we do have another active warning for the Leelanau Peninsula, Leelanau County. So you're talking about that until 8:45. So it's a pretty much, and if you live anywhere within Old Mission Peninsula going towards Leelanau Peninsula, you'll be talking about that cell right on top of you over the next 10 to even near 15 minutes. Yeah, Julie's saying it's dark in Leelanau County. Definitely do believe that. Thanks for that confirmation. Sarah, we're talking about severe thunderstorm warnings actively now in play throughout northern Michigan. So that's why we are live here on Facebook and YouTube. So that's what we're talking about there. Jennifer asking about Lake City and Missaukee counties. So let's go ahead and take a look at Lake City. So here's Missaukee County. As of right now, you don't have anything over you, but we are going to watch this cell just off to your south, Big Rapids. I would be getting into a sturdy building at minimum, away from doors and windows. Very nasty thunderstorm moving into downtown Big Rapids right now, moving into downtown Reed City right now, making sure you're getting into a sturdy building away from doors and windows as that storm continues to move throughout your area. We'll go ahead and leave that radar up. I'll go ahead and do a wide version. I want to go ahead and get some information, some bulletins from the National Weather Service. So there it is on the wider view. I'll leave that up for just a second. And let me go ahead and get some information on some of these storms as they're moving through. So for Leelanau County, again, we're talking about that till 8:45. So we're going to be watching areas from Lake Leelanau towards Leland, Sutton's Bay, about 8:05 to near 8:10. So within the next few minutes, if it's not on top of you already. We're talking about 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That is the main hazard with these storms. So like we were talking about earlier on the 5 and the 6, our main hazards with any of these storms as we're going into the evening are going to be damaging winds and hail. Let's talk about the severe thunderstorm warning for Newaygo and even going into Lake County, Osceola County. We are talking about not only 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, but there has been reports of ping pong sized hail. So that's been associated with this storm moving pretty much right up US 131 from Big Rapids to Reed City. And we are starting to see even a few more cells just off to the south. So even areas going into Mecosta County, you're talking about probably Canadian Lakes. Even going towards Mecosta itself, those are going to be some places to watch. Remus, probably a good place to watch with that. Bethany, saying decent-sized hail in Big Rapids. Thank you for that report. Harrison. So Harrison, we're talking about Clare County. If you're in Clare County and you probably look off to your southwest, you could probably see some pretty tall clouds. You could probably see this line of storms developing right near US 131. As of right now, Clare County, not seeing anything at the moment, but that definitely does have time to change. Helen's saying Frankfurt, closer to Benzie County, and even going towards Manistee County. Starting to get a little loud. Thank you for that live report. Jesse, Lake City. So, yeah, into Missaukee County again. You're talking about this line. This is what we're really going to start to watch. Again, we're still keeping an eye on Leelanau, going a little bit farther north, areas near Sutton's Bay, Northport. You're probably going to want to get inside into a sturdy building until at least that cell moves a little bit farther north. You're also talking about Lake County. So this is just to the north of Baldwin now. Let me go ahead and get a few towns on here so we can see this a little bit closer. So just south of M55, now starting to get into Manistee County, right where 55 and 37 come together. They're probably going to we'll have to see if the National Weather Service does extend this into Manistee County. There's probably a good chance it does. And then even still, we're starting to see areas into northern Osceola County. So even here into southern Wexford County, the potential is going to be there for them to extend this severe thunderstorm warning. Steven saying we're getting some rumbles in Petoskey. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Jill's reporting hail in Lake County. Appreciate that. Susan asking about Traverse City. Sure, let's go ahead and get into Traverse City, Grand Traverse County. So let me put Gaylord's radar on here. So here's the cell that's moving through the Leelanau Peninsula right now. So just to the east of Glen Arbor, Sutton's Bay, Leland, eventually going a little bit farther north towards Northport. You'll probably be seeing this cell move through your area within the next 5 or 10 minutes. Even just taking a look at our live camera that we have up here in the Lake Leelanau. I know you can't see it, but we're getting some pretty good rain right now and some decent lightning. So you're talking about, again, Leelanau County, 845. And we are starting to see a little bit of development too, even a little bit farther north. Looks like we're starting to see a few cells pop near Charlevoix, Petoskey, Harbor Springs. Again, not severe warned right now, but even as you're going a little bit farther north into Charlevoix County, and even we'll have to watch Emmett County too, potentially could be seeing some of these cells firing a little bit farther north. So if your area's near Petoskey, Harbor Springs, Pellston, Boyne City, East Jordan, Charlevoix, we'll continue to watch you a little bit closer too. Andrew asking about Gladwin County. Yep, let's go ahead and take a look at Gladwin County. So as of right now, Gladwin County, not seeing much. Right now, if you look probably farther off to your south and west, you would probably see this now new line of showers and storms starting to develop. So new information coming in. Hopefully you guys can see that TV screen a little bit better as I'm solo. Mike's got the evening off. Well deserved. Osceola County, let me go ahead and pause this. Now till 9:15, and now we're including the entire county of Mecosta. That's also going to be until 9:15. So we're really starting to see this cell that was in Newaygo County. Now it's starting to expand a little bit more. So areas, again, from Canadian Lakes, I would say Mecosta, still Big Rapids. You were talking about that storm. This is going to continue to move off to the north and to the east. So we will have to watch Osceola County, probably even still Clare County too. And we'll even still have to watch Isabella County too. As of right now, no active warnings for Clare or Isabella, but as we continue to see these storms firing in the direction that they're moving, definitely going to be some spots to watch, Clare and Isabella County. Jordan saying we've got thunder and rain in Benzie. Peggy, nothing in Baldwin yet. So it looks like for Baldwin there into Lake County, Peggy, A lot of those storms that we're firing, it looks like they're starting to move off to your north. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit closer to Lake County. So again, you're talking about Montcalm County, 915, Mecosta County, 915, Osceola County, 915, and that's including the entire county. Let me go ahead and get over to Lake County. Newaygo County, you're still technically in that warning until 9:15, but it does look like the worst has passed, at least throughout Newaygo County. Let me get over to Lake County. So here's Baldwin. So Baldwin, technically you are not in this severe thunderstorm warning. The main cell that they are going for is a little bit farther off to your north. So we will have to watch Manistee County. We will have to watch Wexford County. We will have to watch Missaukee County. I want to keep an eye on Clare County, as well as Isabella County too. This is the main line we're talking about, at least into some of our southern zones right now. And as we go a little bit further north, here it is towards the Lake Michigan shoreline. So even towards Manistee County, Benzie County, if your area is from Manistee to Frankfort and you're looking over the lake, probably getting dark, if not already very, very dark. We're starting to see a few of those cells moving just on shore. Danny saying dark skies and TC, Chum's Corner, but no action yet. Yeah, so you've got some, that main cell that's moving throughout Leelanau County, it's just off to your north. So as of right now, most of Grand Traverse County, you're still looking good, but we still do have to watch the development that we're seeing just off to the south. Stephanie, thunder and rain here in the Sioux. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the Upper Peninsula. So yeah, that's what we've got going on right now. Here's the wide view. I'll leave it up for just a sec for those just joining us. We're back on Facebook. We're back on YouTube. We're talking about severe weather. Once again, severe thunderstorm warnings in play for several northern Michigan counties for about the next half hour or so. Our main hazards as of right now, we're talking about damaging winds and large hail, and that's what we've been seeing to trigger these severe thunderstorm warnings. Gusts have been near 60 plus miles per hour, and we have been talking about some decently sized hail as large as ping pong size according to the National Weather Service. So let's go ahead and take a look a little bit further north. Here it is closer to the tip of the mitt and going into eastern upper. So as of right now, you're still talking about a little bit of development. Again, near Charlevoix, Harbor Springs, Petoskey, you're probably at least seeing a little bit of light rain, even towards Mackinac Island too, just offshore Sheboygan County. You got a few cells now starting to pop. And even as you're going into eastern Mackinac, even going into eastern Chippewa, so yes, including the Sioux. It does look like you got a pretty good cell right over you right now. As of right now, it's not severe warned, but probably at least still packing a punch with some heavy rainfall. And there could even be a little bit of small hail too. So that's what we're watching into eastern upper and the tip of the mitt right now. Lisa, getting some thunder in the UP, absolutely. Cheryl asking about Presqu'île County. Yep, so let's go ahead and take a look at Presqu'île. We kind of already have it up here on the map for you, but as of right now, Presqu'île, not seeing too much. But over these past 10 to even near 15 minutes, we've really been starting to see some of this activity develop, and that's what we were expecting ahead of that cold front that was starting to move over Lake Michigan over the past few hours. So I do suspect there could still be some more development. We're going to have to watch it closely as we go throughout this evening, but as of right now, Presqu'île County, not seeing anything at the moment. So that's what we have out there right now. Misty, reporting quarter-sized hail to golf ball-sized hail in irons. Thank you for that report. Hope you stay safe. It looks like we did just get a new warning, so I want to go ahead and get you that latest information that we've got coming your way. Let's see what the bulletin says. So give me just a sec, guys. If you're just joining us, again, we're doing severe weather coverage, part 2. At least for today, the rest of tonight, our severe risk as far as anything tornadic, slim to none. We don't have the amount of shear that we were talking about from yesterday. So that is something we do have going for us, but doesn't mean we're out of the woods from some of these stronger storms that we are now starting to see go severe. Main hazards are still going to be damaging winds, hail, heavy rainfall, and probably a lot of lightning associated with these storms as we're going throughout the next few hours. So let me go ahead and get some of that newest information coming in from the National Weather Service as my phone just pinged. Okay, so now we are talking about, okay, this is going to include several counties a little bit farther off to the north. So we are now including Wexford County, 9:15. They did pull the trigger on Manistee County, so you're now included in that severe thunderstorm warning, 9:15. Benzie County, most of Benzie County, 9:15, as well as southwestern Grand Traverse County, 9:15. So time right now, 8:22. So you're looking at almost another hour because, again, we're seeing this complex just now starting to develop over these past few minutes. And as it continues to move off to the north and the east, there is still going to be the chance we could see some more development ahead of it. So that's what we'll talk about there. Again, you're talking about newly issued severe thunderstorm warnings if you're just joining us. Wexford County, you're talking about Manistee County, Benzie County, and southwestern Grand Traverse County, 9:15. Travis, last night was kind of a ripoff. I think my main message when we talk about severe weather is this. Be fortunate that you didn't have to deal with severe weather. Severe weather is never a guarantee. We don't like to talk about it as much as you don't want to hear about it. But when we have the chance, when we have the parameters in play, that's the reason why we do what we do, to save life and property. So I hope that you stay safe tonight, Travis, and hopefully you don't have to deal with a severe thunderstorm. Christy, how's it looking for Gaylord? Yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at Otsego County. We'll go a little bit farther north. So as of right now, Gaylord, Vanderbilt, not really seeing much out there. Again, you just do have a little bit of activity. We'll go ahead and highlight areas a little bit farther north again. We'll include some of our northern communities right now. So here it is, Charlevoix County. You're even talking about Emmett County. So even near Charlevoix, Harbor Springs, Petoskey, even near Pellston, Sheboygan, at least seeing a few light showers out there. Nothing severe. Even areas towards Mackinac Island. If you know some people maybe on the island this evening, they're seeing at least a few showers. And then east of I-75, going into the Upper Peninsula, Cedarville, you could be seeing a little bit of this activity, even going a little bit farther north near the Sioux as of right now. I think we were getting a comment on here that we were at least getting some good thunder moving areas throughout the Sioux. Jamie, absolutely. Yep, that's why we're here. Alexandria asking about Petoskey. So again, you're seeing more of that development as of right now, a little bit farther off to your south. Petoskey right now, you are seeing at least a few of these cells trying to pop. As of right now, they haven't gone severe yet, but that's still something that we do have to watch. Braden, what direction is this moving? So a lot of these cells are going to continue to move off to the north-northeast, because as of right now, we have a pretty strong southerly wind. So that's been keeping us very, very warm again today. So that was a big reason. Again, a lot of that sunshine that we had, that did help to destabilize the atmosphere. And now that we have this cold front moving through, that is giving us the chance for more of these pop-up style showers and storms. The good news is, again, what we were talking about, at least from yesterday versus today, we have nowhere near the amount of shear. And when I say shear, I mean wind shear. So as you're going up in height, that's the winds rotating with height. So less of that today, so our tornadic risk for the rest of today, a lot lower. So that's going to be some good news that we can take. But again, eastern upper tip of the Mitt, as of right now, you have nothing severe, but we are starting to see these storms pop. So that's what we will be watching. So again, for those of you just joining us, we do have several warnings out there in play. I want to go ahead and go back to a few of the cells into some of our southern communities. Yeah, these have been pretty nasty. Let's just go ahead and see if we can take a look at some of the hail. So yeah, just to the south of Mecosta, right there into Mecosta County, anywhere you do see, might be a little bit hard to see here. I'll try and zone it out for you. Just north of Lakeview, just south of Mecosta, where you do have this pink and purple shading on the map, that's a pretty good indication to me that we've got a pretty strong hail core. So we could be seeing hailstones close to 1 inch in diameter, which, not good news. Don't want to be caught out in that. Let's see, yep, Gina, getting dark in Canadian Lakes, definitely do believe that. Jeffrey asking about North Higgins. Love you too, Travis. All right, let's go ahead and get into Roscommon County. We'll go ahead and flip the radar back on. So there it is, Roscommon County. Again, if you're not actively seeing some of these storms right now, they're continuing to fire very, very quickly. So Roscommon, Houghton Lake, even your Higgins Lake, as of right now, in the clear, but doesn't mean you're completely out of the woods for the rest of today, as we've been seeing a lot of those storms developing off to your south. But as of right now, Roscommon County, good for the moment. Olivia asking, saying dark in Gratiot County. Thank you very much. Teresa asking about Tustin, not good news. Let's go ahead and go back to Osceola. I want to go ahead and focus a little bit more again on some of our southern zones where we do have some of these active warnings. So here's a look at the cells right now. So anywhere between Stanwood, Mecosta, Canadian Lakes, very nasty cell. Very heavy rain, probably gusty at least winds, probably some hail. Now to the east of Big Rapids, look like the worst, at least through the city of Big Rapids, is done. Barreton, you're probably going to have this moving on top of you here very, very soon. And even going again into Osceola County. So right there along US 10, east of Reed City, areas near Everett. You're probably seeing the skies getting pretty dark as of right now. So again, that is technically severe ward for about another at least 30 to 45 minutes. Yep, Don saying Big Rapids, Rodney getting hit pretty hard. Keith and Emmett County saying it's starting to get dark. Elizabeth in Lovells, Crawford County. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look. So same deal, we just showed you Roscommon County, but even as you go a little bit farther north, Lovells, Frederick, Grayling, anywhere along M72, still looking dry. So you're good for now, but again, let me just go ahead and take a wide view here real quick, and let me put it into motion. So here's where we have the active warnings. So you're still talking about, again, Mecosta County, Osceola County. It looks like that one cell's just about to move out of Lake County, so most of Lake County at this point should be pretty good, but still right there into Newaygo County and even back towards Oceana County. It looks like we're starting to see a few more cells popping, so that's what the rest of the evening, at least throughout these next few hours, is probably going to be. Manistee County, you have an active warning. Wexford County, you have an active warning. Benzie County, you have an active warning. Southern Grand Traverse, you have an active warning. Even going towards the Leelanau Peninsula, areas from Lake Leelanau, even towards Northport, you have an active warning. So that's where the active warnings are, mainly as you're going west of US 127 as of right now. And then as you go a little bit farther north, near the tip of the Mitt, again going towards Charlevoix County, even into southern Emmett County, just clipping Sheboygan County, and even into the UP too near the Sioux. We have been seeing a few of those storms firing. So just resetting real quick, if you're just joining us, we're talking about severe thunderstorms going into the evening. So that's what we've got. Mary Kay asking about, or saying we've got big hail in Big Rapids about 20 minutes ago. Yeah, definitely do believe that. Taking a look at some of those signatures throughout Mecosta County. Anytime you see a lot of these pinks and the purples, that tells us that the cloud, as you're going farther up into the atmosphere, it's that much higher. And remember, as you're going throughout the cloud and as you're going up into the atmosphere, those temperatures, they're getting a lot colder. So that helps to produce more hailstones if you can have a very strong updraft. So indications just from radar, when we see a lot of those pinks and those purples indicated from what we call reflectivity, that tells us how heavy versus light the rain is. Not only are we probably talking about heavy rain, but definitely some hail. So that's what we're talking about there. Okay. So we are getting a few reports of potentially some rotation near Stanwood and Manistee. So I want to go ahead and take a look at that cell a little bit closer. We don't have any active tornado warnings at the moment, but let's go ahead and take a look. Reese, you said Stanwood and Manistee? Okay. Yeah, well, we will have to watch that. Lakeview, right near M46. This could be a little concerning. So, if you joined us yesterday, and we were talking about, we were showing you storm winds, but we call it velocity. So, 101, it's basically how the winds are behaving within the storm. So when you're talking about the greens, that's when you have the winds going towards the radar. When you're talking about the reds, that's when you have them going away from the radar. So when you start to see them getting closer, that's what we call a couplet. And we do have some indications here. Again, this is Lakeview, just to the, let's see, just to the southeast of Stanwood, right along M46. So where you see these greens and those reds coming together, that is a weak indication there could be some rotation with that storm. So we're going to have to watch that very closely. Again, no active tornado warnings at the moment, but this does have our attention. So we'll be watching that for you very, very closely. While we have velocity on here, let's just go ahead and take a look at some of the other storms. And at least the good news is it looks like the storm we've got up in Leelanau, I'm not seeing any signs of rotation. There could be a little bit just to the northeast of Manistee, so I'll go ahead and circle that. So that's pretty close to Onekama. So again, where you've got those reds and some of those greens coming together, at least to us, that is an indication there could be at least a little bit of weak rotation. So Manistee County, and we're also watching Mecosta County, where we did show you those two weak couplets, at least from what we're seeing. Yeah, Becca saying strong winds, heavy rain, lots of lightning in Manistee. Patty saying it got very quiet in Manistee. So this is the beauty of technology and what we've got for you today. I can take a look at my phone and see all of your comments in real time. So this gives me a chance to take a look at something that might be happening that I don't have the chance to look at all of a sudden. Deborah saying we have hail in Howard City. We've got Courtney hail in Everett. Yeah, definitely do believe that. So, yep, continue to keep the comments coming. We love to see it. I think this is great interaction and being able to get you real-time information, but We'll keep an eye on Mecosta County. We'll also keep an eye on Manistee County. I want to go ahead and go back to Mecosta County. Yeah. Yeah, right where Montcalm and Mecosta County come together, right by just east of Lakeview, approaching Edmore. We'll have to watch that closely. So again, if you're just joining us, we are tracking several severe thunderstorm warnings at the moment. No active tornado warnings right now, but there are a few storms that do have some weak indications of some rotation. So we are going to watch this very, very closely. Again, you're talking about right now M46 just to the east of Lakeview. So if you're in between Lakeview and Edmore, probably would even towards Millbrook too. You're technically even in that severe thunderstorm warning as of right now. Probably at least get inside a sturdy building, I would say, away from doors and windows until the storm does pass. Kay saying looking dark and nasty in Farwell. Cody saying something there north of Lakeview. Yeah, we're seeing at least some pretty healthy winds with this system, or at least this particular cell. Ryan, good work. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Gwen, flickering power in Onekama. Definitely do believe that. Yep, you're currently under that severe thunderstorm warning. Okay. It looks like we've got Cody in Lakeview, and he's saying there is some indications within the cloud that potentially could be rotating. I'm going to go ahead and get on what we've got, what's called our National Weather Service chat. So this lets me go ahead and talk to people directly in real time at the National Weather Service. And we will see if they are getting any reports of this. But I would say, again, if you are areas in Mecosta County, just to the northeast of Lakeview, right near Millbrook, get into a sturdy building right now, away from doors and windows. Again, we don't have any active tornado warnings, but I don't like what I'm seeing here with the the velocity scans coming in. All right, let's go ahead and see. Let me just go ahead and put the radar back up. Again, if you're just joining us, we're doing Facebook Live. We're live on YouTube, and oh, wow. Yeah, Millbrook, Mecosta, get into your safe place. That's a very nasty cell. Even Lake Isabella, too. Yeah, so we will have to watch even areas going into Isabella County. That's a very, very strong cell that we've got. Millbrook, Mecosta, right along M20, right between where you go from Mecosta County to Isabella County. Yeah, I would say at least get into a sturdy building away from doors and windows right now. That is a nasty cell. So let me go ahead and put the radar back up. There it is on the wide view. I'll leave it running, and then I want to go ahead and check our National Weather Service chat, especially for that cell continuing to move throughout Mecosta County, and then eventually we're going to have to really watch Isabella County very closely. Not seeing anything, not seeing any reports of any funnel clouds or anything like that. So we'll take that good news, but doesn't mean we are out of the woods just yet. So here it is on the wider view again. You're talking about Mecosta County, even going towards Osceola County. Very nasty cell. We're talking about very heavy rainfall, probably a very strong hail core, and we have been getting some viewers on our chat talking about the potential for some slight rotation. So that has our attention. We're going to keep a close eye on that. We're starting to see more of these cells starting to pop. Manistee County, Wexford County, Benzie County, Southern Grand Traverse County. You're also talking about the Leelanau Peninsula. The entire peninsula as of right now seeing a pretty good storm. And they did just warn a little bit further north. I believe that's into Emmett County. Let me go ahead and get that. That just popped up. Yep, so this does now include Emmett County. So this was what we were looking at earlier. So just now moving north of Petoskey, Harbor Springs, up 31 towards Pellston. You're going to be in the line of that storm. So here it is. So just east of Harbor Springs, I would say even if you are in Harbor Springs, even Petoskey too, it's probably a nasty cell or very heavy rain. Allison, even going up 31 towards Pellston. You're all included in that severe thunderstorm warning. That goes out until 10 o'clock. So you're talking about an hour and 15 minutes. Let's go a little bit further north. Yep, Cody, thank you very much. We got hail and Mecosta from Lori. Thank you. Appreciate that. Getting dark, thundering in Buckley. Thank you, Justice. Tim saying getting dark, thundering in Kingsley. Thank you for that report. Yep, so even in Grand Traverse, again, it's the southern portion, but you do have several cells starting to fire just off to your south. So we'll have to watch that closely as we go throughout about the next half hour. Gina had hail in Canadian Lake, but she said it's starting to get quiet now, so thank you very much. Desmond, strong winds, thunder, and incredibly dark skies at Sutton's Bay. Definitely do believe that throughout the entire Leelanau Peninsula, you're under that warning for another half hour. Sturdy building away from doors and windows is going to be the best place to be in those spots. Cheyenne saying it's really still in Boyne City. Starting to get rain. Lonnie and Isabel County. Starting to get dark in Mount Pleasant. Amber, thank you very much. Appreciate that. So let's go ahead and go back. So that's the newest severe thunderstorm warning we're talking about, Emmett County. So anywhere from Petoskey, Harbor Springs, up 31 towards Pellston, even including Cross Village. You're included in that until 10 o'clock. And even going farther north into the Upper Peninsula, you still do have a few good storms. We did have that moving through the Sioux. Mainly anything into the Upper Peninsula, at least eastern upper. You're talking about that mainly east of I-75 right now. But even areas as far east as Drummond Island. We'll have to watch you with a few of these cells moving through. So that's a quick look at the Upper Peninsula. As of right now, nothing in the Upper Peninsula is severe warned. Let's go back down to this cell. This cell had my attention, especially from what Cody was saying just a little bit ago. Let me get back on velocity here. I just want to go ahead and see how the winds are behaving. So this is what I'm talking about. I'll pull up velocity here in just a sec, but this is very concerning to me, to where I'm seeing a lot of these, not only the pinks, but you're even talking about some of the blacks. And that's right at the end of our scale here when you're talking about how heavy the rain is. So at minimum, you're talking about very heavy rainfall. You're talking about probably a very strong hail core. You're probably talking about damaging winds, at least on the leading edge of the storm. So Mecosta, Lake Isabella, Barreton, Millbrook. Eventually this is going to be going into Isabella County, and as I say that, they just warned western Isabella County for that cell. Let's go ahead and take a look at velocity here. Yeah, that is, I don't like that. Millbrook, I'm going to say get into your shelter right here. So if you joined us yesterday, and we were probably showing, well, we were showing velocity quite a bit because we were talking about a lot of embedded areas of rotation along that main line. So when you're talking about the reds, you're talking about the greens. When they come together on radar, that's what we call a couplet, and that's where we start to see the winds rotating a little bit. So no active tornado warnings at the moment, but this definitely does have my attention. So we're going to be watching that very close. I would say areas, especially near Millbrook, you probably want to be getting into your safe spot right now. It's probably going to be very, very windy, lots of rain, probably some decent hail. Yeah, I apologize, Lisa. I'm on my own here, so we're trying to make do with what we got. So I'm trying to describe it as best as I can. So you're talking about, again, Mecosta County going into eventually Isabella County. They did go with the severe thunderstorm warning, so that's what we're going to talk about. So areas from Millbrook going towards Lake Isabella, you're really going to want to pay attention to this over these next few minutes. This is going to be heading right over M20, pretty much right where you come from Mecosta County going into Isabella County. Let's see, Amy asking about, or saying, we've got dark thunder starting to rain in Tustin. Marion, appreciate that report. Lightning, thunder, and rain from Aaron in Cadillac. Appreciate that report. Yeah, we're going to keep a close eye on that, Cody. This has my concern. I appreciate you bringing that to our attention. See, that's the beauty of what we can do here. If somebody's seeing something where they live, they can put it in the comments, and then we can pull it up on the map and we can discuss it in real time. So, again, Millbrook going into western Isabella County near Lake Isabella, there is indications we are seeing of some rotation. So I do want you, especially areas from Millbrook going towards Lake Isabella, to get into your safe place. I know we don't technically have a tornado warning, but I'm not liking what I'm seeing here on velocity. So Julie, oh, thank you very much. Yeah, we're here to serve. That's our goal. Freddie, seeing dark skies, rain in Harbor Springs. Jesse, starting to see some thunder, hear some thunder, see some lightning in Lake City. And Claudia is reporting lightning, thunder, and pea-sized hail and very strong winds in Everett. So we appreciate all of those reports, everybody. And even if you don't think your comment matters, when we're talking about it, people hear about it. They might know somebody that lives there. They might know somebody that lives nearby. So this is very interactive. I think this is a great thing for us to be doing. Obviously, if we do happen to get a tornado warning, we will break into programming. I know we got several messages yesterday about breaking into the Amazing Race. I apologize. We don't want to break into your TV programming. We don't. I don't. I don't want to stay here till 2 o'clock in the morning covering storms. I want to go home and go to bed. But this is our job. And when we have chances for the storms that we are seeing, we need to get that information out to as many people as we can. So that's all I'll say about that. We're seeing, let's see, Michelle, large cloud dropping in Buckley. Let's go ahead and take a look. So let's go a little bit further north. So still going to keep a very close eye on western Mecosta, areas into western Isabella. They now have included Clare County in that severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to go until 10:15. So that's going to include the entire county of Clare. That includes anywhere from Clare up towards Harrison. We'll be watching that very closely. We still do have Wexford County, Mesick, and there's Buckley. So yes, I definitely do believe, you're probably seeing some very ominous clouds now starting to move into southern Grand Traverse County. Lou, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Jim saying he is seeing a funnel cloud in Mount Pleasant. Julie, thank you very much. Chris, yep, that's why we're here. Getting really windy in Mesick. Yep, Barbara, so that's what we got pulled up right here. I know it's hard to see. I apologize for that, but again, Mike and Haley have the night off, so we're holding down the fort all by ourselves, and we can handle it. But Mesick, just towards Wexford County, so right where 1 M15 and 37 come together, pretty nasty cell. And we'll have to watch that going farther north, areas near Buckley, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. And we still do have a few more pretty good cells just to the east of Onekama, and even going towards Weldon. Honor, we'll have to watch you. Lake Ann, you probably got a pretty good cell moving your way. They did drop the severe thunderstorm warning for Leelanau County. We still will watch areas right near the tip, near Northport. You still do have a pretty good cell over you, so probably at least some heavy rainfall there. Let's go ahead and revisit our cell a little bit farther north. So this was one of the newer ones we were talking about. So here it is into Emmett County. So as of right now, Petoskey looks like you're out of the worst of it. If you probably look off to your north and east, you're probably seeing some pretty high clouds. Harbor Springs, it looks like the worst is moving out of your area. The cell itself, I would say areas along 31, and if you're going towards Pelston, that's going to be a pretty nasty cell. Probably at least some very strong wind gusts, if not even some hail, very heavy rainfall. Yep, thanks guys, appreciate it. Let's see, Tanner asking about Kalkaska County. Let's go ahead and take a look. So here's Kalkaska, and I want to just go ahead and include, I'll go ahead and just put it into motion. Motion helps us see where we're going. Ruben saying it's quiet in Petoskey now. Appreciate that report. So here it is, Kalkaska County. So you've got these cells just off to your south. You've got these cells just off to your west. So technically still quiet in Kalkaska County, but lots of activity off to your south and west. So we're going to have to watch you a little bit closer. Jim saying funnel moved right over my house. Looked like a cold air funnel, no rotation, but we are getting strong winds. Yeah, so that definitely could be associated with that cell we were talking about approaching Lake Isabella, where we did see some signs of rotation, at least some weak rotation. Again, we do not have any active tornado warnings right now. Everything right now that is being warned is severe thunderstorm, but in order to have a severe thunderstorm, one of the main priorities is for the storm to be capable of producing a tornado. So again, information's not to scare you, it's to keep you informed, and that's just the criteria from the National Weather Service. I didn't make it up. So that's what we have out there as of right now, at least for Kalkaska County. Donna asking about Ludington. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the Lake Michigan shoreline a little bit closer. So as of right now, Ludington, as we're going towards Mason County, and even a little bit farther south into Osceola County, Pentwater, Hart, no active warnings right now. And even Manistee, it looks like the worst, at least of that first severe storm, has moved off to your north and east. But again, you're already starting to see another cell develop coming right over the lakeshore. So that's what we will have to continue to watch. It does look like as of right now, areas into Ludington, you're just going to see some, probably at least some moderate rain. There even could be some gusty winds, potentially some small hail. Not really seeing any major signatures there. So that's what we'll talk about, areas going into Mason County. Heather's asking about Interlaken. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump over to Grand Traverse. I know we do have a wide variety of people that do live areas closer to Traverse City. So, yeah, a few of these cells are starting to get pretty nasty too. Mesik, it is probably a very heavy downpour right now. Again, right where M37, 115 come together, pretty much right on top of Mesik. You're talking about that. Buckley, we'll have to watch you. Probably starting to get dark, areas near Five Lake, Kingsley, eventually moving up 37, your Chumps Corner. Let's go ahead and go towards, we'll go ahead and include Traverse City. So here it is. We'll put it into motion. So I know we do have a lot of viewers into Traverse City. So here's the one cell. This is Mesik. So this is Wexford. This is Grand Traverse. This is Traverse City. And this is the way the storms are moving. So you're probably going to be seeing the storm if it holds together. And we have only been seeing it strengthen over the past 10 to 15 minutes. So areas going into Traverse City, if you know anybody outside, maybe they're out in the patio doing something, give them a text, give them a heads up. As of right now, you don't have an active warning for Traverse City, but I would suspect that the National Weather Service could extend that severe thunderstorm warning into Traverse City as we go into about the next 15 minutes. Justice starting to say we're getting rain, lightning, thunder in Buckley, so thank you for that confirmation. Looks like somebody, let's see, Marriott, I hope I'm saying your name correct. I apologize if I'm not. Antrim County, getting a lot of lightning near Central Lake. Aaron, asking about Wexford County. All right, yep, so let's go ahead and go over back to areas near Cadillac. So here's Wexford County, and this is the current radar. So as of right now, Cadillac, you're technically not in a warning. The main reason why we've got Wexford County in the warning is areas near Mesik going towards Buckley. You're about to see that storm move through very, very quickly. Taking a look at our live cam right now, downtown Cadillac, looks like we do have some wet streets and pretty dark skies as you're looking farther north up Mitchell. So that's what you're talking about there. Manton, you're still technically in that warning. Doesn't look like the rain, or at least the signatures we're seeing on radar, are not too heavy. But again, you got to look farther south. You got to see what's coming from the southwest. So there's a look at that loop. Yeah, it looks like we did just have another cell move through Big Rapids. So that was another issued severe thunderstorm warning. So that one's going until 9:15. You're also talking about Osceola County until 9:15. I want to go ahead and go back to this particular cell. Let me go ahead and stop it. We'll put velocity back on. Yeah, there's still a little bit of weak rotation there. Right over Lake Isabella right now. Yeah, Lake Isabella, get to your safe place right now. Not liking what I'm seeing there on velocity. Again, no active tornado warnings. I want to be very clear about that. No active tornado warnings. Everything we have right now is a severe thunderstorm warning. But I want to keep an eye on Lake Isabella very, very closely, because that is one of the main areas as of right now that I'm seeing that there could be some rotation within that storm. So yeah, Lake Isabella, and I would even say if your area's into western Isabella County, farther north of Lake Isabella, at least be getting into a sturdy building away from doors and windows. That's going to be a nasty cell that's going to continue to move that way. Melody, between McBain and Cadillac, getting a lot of lightning, thunder. And Melody is asking about Baldwin, saying it's coming down pretty good there. Yeah, Cody. Oh, okay. Calling the National Weather Service. Very good. Yep, they said they're keeping a real close eye on it. Definitely do believe that. If they're talking about it and I'm talking about it, then Again, no active tornado warning, but this is a little concerning. So again, let me go ahead and put a track on that, because that's the only main area as of right now I'm seeing any good rotation. So let's just get so pretty much from the center of where we're talking about that best rotation. Again, Lake Isabella, please get into your safe place, at least inside a sturdy building. Hatton, even near Clare, so western Isabella, and then eventually we will have to watch southern Clare County. So even areas near Clare and going farther west along US 10, those are going to be some spots to watch. So that does even include, I would even say even near Farwell, definitely want to keep an eye on this as we go throughout about the next 15 to 20 minutes. Sue asking about Ogama County. Yeah, let's go ahead and give Eastern Lower a little bit of love. So again, this is what we'll be watching. This is the main place that we are going to continue to watch a little bit closer. This is the main sign of any rotation that we're seeing. Again, I want to be very, very clear. We do not have any active tornado warnings, but one of the viewers we do have on chat, Cody, he did say that he contacted the National Weather Service. I'm going strictly off of his word. He said that they are watching this storm very, very closely, and from what I see from my own eyes on radar, I can definitely see why. So that's going to be definitely a storm to watch. As of right now, Ogama County, let me go ahead and put the radar back on. So Ogama County, not seeing much right now. And don't pay attention to the little blue that you see there on that map. That's what we call ground clutter. That's just an imperfection, unfortunately, that we have to deal with sometimes from our radar sites. But as of right now, yeah, Ogama County, not seeing much, but again, look what is off to your south and west, and look at what the direction and the way it's moving. So we're going to have to pay attention to that very, very closely. Let's go farther north. We'll go ahead and reset. So these are a few other cells that I want to pay close attention to. Just for the heck of it, we'll go ahead and look at the velocity. And I'm not really seeing anything too concerning here as far as rotation. There's definitely some strong winds with this cell. Yeah, you're talking 41. Yeah, so you're probably at least talking about 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts, if not even locally stronger. So let me go ahead and go back to the radar. Yeah, so right up 37, right in between Mesek and Buckley. Very heavy rainfall probably right now occurring. Again, where you do see, I know it's a little hard to see here on this TV, so I apologize, it's just me here tonight, but where you do see those pinks, those purples, even some of those darker brown or blacks, that's right at the top of our list here as far as our legend goes. So that indicates to me we're talking about very heavy rain. We're probably talking about hail, and we're probably at least going to be talking about gusty winds, if not even damaging winds. So I would even say get into a sturdy building, even if your area's now approaching Buckley, because it's probably going to be pretty rowdy there in the next few minutes, if not already. Tim. Hi, Tim. Asking about Onaway. Yeah, let's go ahead and go back to the tip of the mitt. So again, these are the active warnings we're talking about: Mecosta, Isabella, Clare, Osceola, Wexford, Manistee, Benzie, and Grand Traverse. So those are the warnings that we have right now. Let's go ahead and go back up to our other warning that we still do have. So this was including Emmett County. So Pellston, you're seeing a pretty good storm move through your area right now. And this technically does include now very western Sheboygan County till 10 o'clock. So if you are southwest of Sheboygan, you'll probably at least be seeing the skies getting pretty dark. If not, even some heavy rainfall, probably some gusty winds, and even some hail. Onaway, as of right now, not much going on. Cells are way off to your south. That one cell in Emmett and Sheboygan is well off to your west. So as of right now, you're still looking good for the moment. I'm not going to say anywhere is good for the rest of tonight because we're still seeing these storms develop as we speak. Again, taking a look at the eastern UP, a few light showers into Luce, even approaching southern Mackinac towards 2. And even now, as we're going west of I-75, we'll have to watch areas from probably east now of Cedar Lake, even going towards Drummond Island, and even going into eastern Chippewa County. But again, nothing severe for the UP. And again, Emmett County and Sheboygan County, 10 o'clock. That's what we got you to. Yeah, I want to go ahead and take a look at this cell one more time. Yeah. Here, let me go ahead and circle this, and I'll come back to the TV. So we're getting into northwestern Isabella County and now eventually going to be approaching Clare County. This is what we're going to be talking about. Again, where you see those reds, those greens coming together very, very closely, that's indications to us that there is at least some weak rotation. Again, no active tornado warning right now, but we're still paying close attention to it. So now moving just to the north of Lake Isabella, Farwell, Clare, even Rosebush, I would say. You probably want to get into a sturdy building away from doors and windows. Anywhere along 10 and even still 115 going into Clare County, if you live anywhere in those spots, probably a good idea to get inside. Again, sturdy building away from doors and windows. Tracy asking about Manistee County. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Lake Michigan shoreline. And I know you can't see it, but we do have our live cameras, and you can always go check those out on 9and10news.com. They're free. You can see what's going on across the region. But yeah, we got Lake Leelanau pulled up right now at the Yarrows Knot Club. Looking pretty stormy right now. So here's a look at Manistee County. So we're still technically under that warning Manistee, at least the northeastern portion of the county, going just to the west of Mesik. If you're right along 115, going up towards Benzonia. Yeah, probably some very heavy rainfall right there along 115 into Manistee and then eventually going towards Benzie County. So that's the active warning there. Manistee itself, not under a warning, but you are still seeing some pretty moderate to probably heavy rainfall. So that's what we're talking about there. But as of right now, no active warning for the city of Manistee. So that's what we've got for Manistee County. Yeah, Jackie saying it was wild in Big Rapids. I believe it. You've already had two good cells move through downtown. Yeah, we were talking about very heavy rainfall, hail, lots of lightning. So that's what we were discussing earlier if you joined us at 5 and 6 o'clock. There was already some severe thunderstorm warnings throughout the Upper Peninsula, even going back towards Wisconsin, that unfortunately saw several tornadoes yesterday, and now they were dealing with more, and that's what we were watching starting to move over the lake. And since we had that cold front move through at an earlier time, because now we're talking about these storms 7, 8, 9 o'clock, we've got a little bit more heat to work with. So that's why we're starting to see a lot of those storms firing as much as they are. Tracy, yep, absolutely. Chris asking about the sunrise side. Yep, let's go ahead and take a look. So not too much going on near Lake Huron right now. So if you're anywhere up US 23, East Tawas, Harrison or Harrisville, Alpena, Roger City, not much going on. At the moment, generally quiet. Mile, you're dry. Harrisville, not much going on. Hillman, you're good. When I say you're good, I mean you're good for the moment. Because we're still going to watch this front move through, and there still is going to be probably some storms eventually moving over to the sunrise side later this evening into tonight. So, but as of right now, sunrise side looking pretty good. Nothing too concerning there. Let's see, Amber she's asking if there was a tornado trying to form. Where exactly, if you could let me know exactly where you were possibly seeing that, I'd definitely appreciate it. Yeah, so those two areas we were watching, again, Isabella County, and even going into southern Grand Traverse County, northern Wexford County near Buckley, those were two very strong cells that we got to pay attention to a lot closer. Kenneth saying he's got a good light show in Ludington. Appreciate that report. Stay safe. Abby asking about Mount Pleasant. Yeah, let's go ahead and go back to a few of those cells, especially the one that had my concern a little bit farther south. Yeah, so northwestern Isabella County, very nasty cell. Yeah, and we've got our live cam pulled up right now in downtown Mount Pleasant. And you can see a pretty good shelf cloud starting to move into downtown. You can see the winds starting to pick up, trees, the flags. Yeah, it's going to be a... So I would say anywhere, again, if you are especially not only in Isabella County, but as you're going, this cell is going to continue to move into Clare County. So right along US 10, right where it comes into contact with 115, Clare, Farwell, Hatton. We'll even have to watch Harrison because you're still technically under this warning until 10:15. Let's just go ahead and take a look at the rotation one more time. And there's still a little bit that I am watching right here. So again, if you're just joining us, or if you did join us yesterday, we were talking a lot about what we call velocity. So normally not something that maybe you're as familiar with. When we're talking about velocity, we're talking about how the winds are behaving within the storm. So when you're talking about the green shadings here, it's relative to the radar site. So these are going towards the radar. The reds, those are going away from the radar. So that's indication to us that there is potentially a little bit of rotation. So I would say anywhere from Rosebush all the way farther north. Again, we're watching Farwell near Clare. That's going to be a spot that you want to get into your safe place, at least a sturdy building right now away from doors and windows. Currently, no tornado warnings right now. I want to be very clear about that. We're only at the moment talking about severe thunderstorm warnings, but this definitely has our concern. And we're going to continue to watch it for you over the next few minutes. Kirsty is saying they got some hail in Mesick, and they sent me a video. All right. Well, thank you very much. Please stay safe. Don't try to be the hero to go out to get. I know sometimes, the old Michigander can tell you to just go sit on the porch and watch the storms, but when we're talking about especially chances for rotation, we want you to be in a safe place. So, but I appreciate the video. So thank you very much. But please do so safely. Cary, Gladwin has gotten black. Let's take a look at Gladwin County. So again, this is Isabella going towards Clare County. We're going to have to watch that very closely. Again, no active tornado warning. It is a severe thunderstorm warning right now, but that is a decent indication to me that we are talking about at least some weak rotation. So here's Gladwin County, and again, even Gladwin County, I mean, the cell is just about to cross over into Clare. Clare probably getting very, very dark right now, right where, let's see, US 10 and 127 come together. So Gladwin looks like you're on the leading edge. You're probably seeing at least some gusty winds on that, what we call a gust front. So that's the leading edge of the storm moving through. So we'll even have to watch areas from Beaverton to Billings to Secor to Gladwin, Hatton, Clare, Farwell, Harrison, just depending on exactly the direction of where this cell moves. I would say as of right now, it's probably a little bit more oriented towards Clare County, but it does have the potential to at least clip Gladwin County. So we'll be watching that very closely for you. As of right now, if your area is near Rosebush, if you're in Clare, if you're in Farwell, I want you to at least get into a sturdy building away from doors and windows. This is going to be a pretty nasty cell moving through. And we were talking about it earlier, again, at our legend here at the top. You know, we are not able to get this much into detail when we're on the air, but when you're talking about our legends up here, this is as high as it goes. When you're talking about those pinks, those purples, and you even see a few blacks there. I know it's a little harder to see here, but that's indication to me that we're talking about very heavy rainfall and probably a very strong hail core. So again, areas from Clare County, we'll be watching Gladwin County, and even still northwestern Isabella County. Please pay attention to this. Let's go ahead and talk about Reed City. Kylie? Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and go back to Osceola. So here's a look at Osceola. As of right now, they dropped the warning for Osceola, but pretty good cell now, just approaching downtown Everett, right there along 10. Again, not severe warned, but probably at least packing a punch with heavy rainfall and some gusty winds. Reed City, as of right now, looks like you just have some light rain. It doesn't look like you've got anything too nasty over you at the moment. I know you did earlier, but that's what we're talking about for Osceola County. So this is a new severe thunderstorm warning. Let me go ahead and put it back on. So this is for Oceana County. So this is kind of what we were talking about earlier. So even if you might have already had a cell move through or a pretty strong storm move through, there is still going to be the potential for more development throughout the next few hours. So this does include Ferry, Elbridge, Colfax. Your Colfax seeing some very heavy rainfall, it looks like right now. So that's one of the newest severe thunderstorm warnings we have. Oceana County, 10 o'clock. And even going farther south too, I know we still have some viewers a little bit farther south, northern Muskegon County. That's a very nasty cell. Again, where you're seeing a lot of those pinks and those purples. Whitehall, Lakewood Club, Dalton. You're probably going to be seeing this very soon, if not already. So again, that's for Muskegon County. You're also warned until 10 o'clock. So that's the newest one we have. Again, we're watching Isabella, Clare, even Gladwin County pretty close. Let's travel farther north. So here's what we have. Let's go back to this cell that we've got. Buckley right now. Probably some very heavy rainfall. Gusty winds, if not damaging winds, probably some hail. Let's just go ahead and put the hail signature on here. Oh yeah, take a look at that. Mesick, Buckley, even going into western Manistee County. Looks like we're seeing some hail with those cells. So we are expecting some decent sized hail probably with this storm. And I believe somebody on the chat said that they sent us in a video of some hail in Mesick. Again, I know you can't see it, but we've got our live cams, and you can always go to 9and10news.com. They're streaming. If you download the app on Roku, anything like that, and you can take a look at live cams all across northern Michigan. It is free. We've got Traverse City up right now, taking a look over the bay, and we just had a very defined lightning strike go right, looks like through Old Mission. And our camera's shaking pretty good, and we're seeing some heavy rainfall. It looks like there we've got some watermarks on our camera lens. So, yep, we're talking about this. Even areas into, it looks like, the Leelanau Peninsula, you might be seeing some hail. Let's go farther north, even associated with the system throughout Emmett County. You're probably seeing a little bit of hail, or you might have already seen a little bit of hail, potentially from Petoskey, Harbor Springs, Allison, Pellston. We'll have to watch areas near the straits. If that cell holds together, we'll see what the National Weather Service decides to do. But yeah, again, that's the wide view as of right now. If you're just joining us, we are doing Facebook and YouTube live coverage of Severe Weather Part 2 as we're going into your Friday evening. A little bit rowdy out there for several locations. Active warnings right now you're talking about, looks like they did just drop, let's see. They just did drop Mecosta, they did just drop Osceola, but we're really going to keep an eye on Isabella. Really going to have to watch Clare. This is a very nasty cell. We're also talking about, let me see, Manistee, Wexford. Looks like Benzie, they just dropped that warning. Grand Traverse, we're going to have to watch you. Looks like you have another nasty cell now starting to move right near Northport into the Leelanau Peninsula. Emmett County, just south of the Straits. You're still talking about that? So those are your active warnings as of right now. And we'll stay on here until 10 o'clock. We'll have our live show at 10 o'clock on Fox, and then we'll also have our live show, 9 and 10 News, at 11. But if we continue with these warnings, at least up until 10 o'clock, we'll continue to stay on the stream. Let's see. So yeah, if anyone has, again, any this chat is the technology and everything that we have with this chat. It's meant for you to get information in real time. So even if you have a question, or even if you have a comment, or whatever you might be seeing, even if you don't think it might be helpful, someone else could be watching, someone else could be reading it, and they might know somebody that lives somewhere, they might be traveling to that place. So it could be very, very helpful. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. I really hope that this is helpful information. Family outside, let's see, Stephanie, family outside of Clare said that they're getting some hail right now. Yep, definitely believe that. Janice, yeah, so as of right now, Osceola County, they did drop that warning. So they dropped the warning for Mecosta. They dropped the warning for Osceola. As of right now, your active warnings still Isabella, Clare. You're going to be talking about Osceola. You're also going to be talking about, looks like they dropped the warning for Manistee. They dropped the warning for Benzie. We're still watching northern Wexford. And we are going to have to keep an eye on Grand Traverse. That cell we were talking about near Buckley, probably going to be moving right up 37 near Chumps Corner, eventually near downtown Traverse City. Even going towards, again, Northport, the Leelanau Peninsula, you're still talking about a pretty nasty cell. We're going to have to watch Emmett County. We've had that cell near Pellston. That's been warned for a little while. We'll have to see exactly what the National Weather Service does decide to do with that. So areas potentially even near the Straits. If you know anybody maybe on Mackinac Island, they're going to be seeing a few of these storms. Depending on the exact direction, we'll have to watch that a little bit closer. Hannah's saying very dark, creepy looking in Cadillac. Lots of lightning. Gladwin. Meredith near Gladwin. Getting hail. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. Western Isabella County from Lonnie. Still getting lightning and thunder. But he says he sees sunlight to the west. Okay. Brad. So, yeah, Rhonda, they did drop the severe thunderstorm warning for Mecosta County. We're still going to watch it because we've been seeing storms refiring, but as of right now, Mecosta County, they did drop that severe thunderstorm warning. Brad asking about Kalkaska. So as of right now, Kalkaska, you've got storms to your south, you've got storms to your west. As of right now, Kalkaska County, no warnings, but again, we're not out of the woods just yet because we've been seeing these storms fire over these past few hours. Let's see. Yeah, Samantha at Farwell, I definitely would get into at least a sturdy building. We're going to be watching that cell very closely if it's not already about on top of you. Yep, Linda, Farwell, hail, wind, rain. Yep, definitely believe that. Softball-sized hail in Clare from Steve. Yep, I unfortunately do believe that. Let's just go ahead and, I want to go ahead and pull that cell back up. That's been the most concerning cell that I've seen develop within this past half hour. Yeah, Farwell, Clare, Hatton, right on top of you right now. So anywhere into Clare County, especially southern Clare County, sturdy building away from doors and windows. Right where 10 and US 127 come together. Yeah, that's some very heavy rainfall. And we've already gotten some confirmed reports from a few people saying that they have seen hail potentially the size of a softball. So when we're getting that big, that can do significant damage, unfortunately, to crops, your vehicle. So we'll be watching this very, very closely. Let's go ahead. Yep, take a look at that. Yep, this storm has had a history all the way from Mecosta, going into Isabella, and now starting to move into Clare, producing a lot of hail. So Hatton, we'll be watching you. Harrison, we'll be watching you. Gladwin, Beaverton, areas farther west along 61, we'll be watching you. And I want to go ahead and just take a look at the velocity one more time. Yeah. Yeah, even going into northeast Clare County, right near Wise, Coleman. Still seeing some small indications of rotation. Again, no active tornado warnings. Again, if you're just joining us, I know people hop in and out of these chats. That's another reason why we like to continue the coverage, because not everybody stays on for the entire chat. Wise, Coleman, again, we're showing you what we call velocity. So velocity 101, it's just how the winds behave within the storm. So the different colors that you see on the map, you have to think of it relative to where the radar site is. So the greens, those are the winds going towards the radar. The reds are away from the radar. So when they come together, that's what we call a couplet. And that is indications of where we could be seeing at least some weak rotation. So even going right there into northeastern Isabella, this even could be clipping areas into northwestern Midland County. And even still, again, we're going to have to watch Gladwin County too. We'll have to see how that behaves, but that's going to be a spot to watch over the next few minutes. Let's see. Yep, Dolores still bad in Farwell. Please stay safe. So that is the latest on that cell. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and reset. Let's get the radar back on. And we're even seeing some development ahead of that cell too. So even now, folks watching us from Roscommon County, just south of M55, pretty strong cell now starting to develop there. So anywhere from Houghton Lake, Higgins Lake, let's see, Buttman, we'll still have to watch even Roscommon too. No active warning for Roscommon yet, but we'll have to watch it. Potential is there for a warning probably very soon. Some of our southern zones, let's go to a few more of these active warnings that we have. No active warning for Newaygo County, but just north of White Cloud, up 37 towards Lilly. That's a pretty nasty cell. Probably some heavy rainfall, gusty winds, hail, at least into our viewing area. Again, Oceana County. And this is mainly affecting southeastern Oceana County. So areas from Ferry going a little bit farther off to the east. We'll be watching that. And even still a little bit farther south too, for anyone you might know, or maybe folks watching us in Muskegon, a few more nasty cells now starting to cross over the lake shore. Dalton, looks like you're seeing a pretty nasty cell just to the west of 31. So we'll watch that very closely. And let's go back to the other cell that is now, they did go with the warning for Grand Traverse. So Mesek, you're seeing another good cell moving right on top of you. Buckley, you still got some heavy rainfall, but now we are including Grand Traverse County in the severe thunderstorm warning until 10:30. So here's Grand Traverse. So you got Kingsley, Mayfield, Chumps Corner, 37, 113, taking you right into downtown Traverse City. That's a pretty nasty cell too. So again, where you do see a lot of those pinks and the blacks, that's at the top of our scale here when we're talking about how light versus heavy the rainfall is. So probably some hail, probably some gusty winds, probably at least some moderate to even very heavy rainfall. I know a few people I think were asking about Cadillac. Let's go back to Cadillac. But again, yep, that's the latest we got on that cell. And so heads up for folks tuning in, watching us from Traverse City. Here's a look at Wexford County. So again, Wexford County, you're still technically under that warning, 10:30. So yeah, a little less than an hour, but this is mainly affecting as you're going farther north and west throughout the county. So we've been watching Mesek, Buckley. That's where we have the main warning as of right now. Cadillac, a little bit of light rain, the latest scan coming in from the radar. No active warning for the city of Cadillac right now, but you do have a pretty strong cell now just starting to develop off to your south and west. So we will have to watch that pretty close. Brittany, so these so let me go ahead and just do a reset if you're just joining us. So we're talking about severe thunderstorm warnings across the region. And let me just put it into motion. So here it is, entire viewing area. I know it's a little hard to see here on this monitor, but it's just me tonight. Michael and Haley got Friday night off. So storms are pretty much moving almost due north, but they got a little bit of an east component, so we'll call it north-northeast. So that's where the storms are, again, moving mainly from the southwest off to the northeast. So that's going to be the general direction we talk about, at least with these storms, up until around midnight tonight. Let's see. Pam saying Irons has golf ball sized hail 45 minutes ago. Yeah, I think you mentioned hail earlier in the chat too. Thank you very much for that report. Please stay safe. Patricia asking about Harrison. Yeah, so that is another, we were talking about that cell a little bit closer, and that one still has our concern. And as we speak, they did just go with the new warning that now does include Gladwin County. Gladwin County, newest severe thunderstorm warning. You've got that until 10:45. Okay. Sounds like we might be getting some interference with the mic, so I appreciate that. Quinn, we've got him in the booth helping me out. I believe someone was asking about Harrison. So here's the latest that we've got on Harrison. Again, pretty nasty cell just off to your south. Hatton, Farwell, Clare, still getting hammered pretty good right now with very heavy rain, hail, probably some gusty winds. So even Harrison, you're still technically in that severe thunderstorm warning. We got it popped up there. Hopefully you can see that. Clare till 10:15. So you're still talking about a half hour. But yeah, Harrison at least inside a sturdy building away from doors and windows, going to be a safe bet for at least the next half hour. Let's just go ahead and I want to go ahead and get another scan on this. If you've been watching for a while now, we've been following this cell all the way back from Mecosta County, going through Isabella County. Now it's into Clare County, and it has not weakened at all. It's held its strength very well, unfortunately. We would like to see it weaken, but it has held on pretty good. Yeah, I don't like that. It's very weak. It's been weak, but it's still there. Again, those reds and those greens. Right near Wise, right near Coleman, right along 10, right before you get into Midland County, northeastern Isabella County. I also want you into at least a sturdy building away from doors and windows. Winds are behaving a little interesting. Again, no active tornado warnings. I want to be very clear about that. But we still are talking about several severe thunderstorm warnings as of right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few more of these cells now starting to come over the lake. So active warnings on the west side, on the sunrise side, or sunset side, I should say. Muskegon, 10 o'clock, and we're also talking about Oceana County till 10 o'clock. Newaygo County, right up 37. Lilly towards Baldwin. You're about to have a pretty nasty cell move into your area. Again, not severe warned, but probably wouldn't want to be caught outside in it. Let me just go ahead and put that into motion. So areas, even towards Big Rapids too, we're going to have to watch you. Another cell now starting to probably move your way, if not just west of town. Lilly, here's that cell right there. Baldwin, going to be right on top of downtown here pretty soon. Cindy just saying rain and Chase, nothing now. Well, you got a few more cells now just off to your southwest, so we will have to watch Chase too. Sam asking about velocity on the Baldwin cell. Yeah, we can take a look. Nothing organized, But again, when we're talking about those reds and those greens, there could be at least some mid-level rotation. Just northwest of Big Rapids, southeast of Baldwin. Yeah, if we could pull that up full screen, Quinn, one more time. Yeah, right there where we have that circled. So that's what we're watching, yeah. So that's going to be another area to watch. All right, cool. Thank you, Quinn. Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that for you, Sam. Yeah, that's, so again, it's like, unfortunately, these cells, you might have one move through, and then 15 or 20 minutes later, we might have another one develop, and then another one move through. So this is going to be something unfortunately we're going to have to watch at least for the next few hours. Let's see, we got Gaylord and Crawford and Harrison and Roscommon questions, so let's go ahead and go back up that way. And just one more time, yeah, for those of you just joining us, obviously if we do happen to get issued any tornado warnings, we will hop on programming, no questions asked. But if we continue just with severe thunderstorm warnings, we will go ahead with our 10 o'clock newscast as scheduled. So I know we're starting to get close. If we don't have any active tornado warnings by 9:50, we will end this chat. But if after the 10 o'clock show, please come back to join us for more chat. If we continue to have these severe thunderstorm warnings, we will definitely jump back on to the... Okay. Okay, so we are talking about football going on, so that might delay us a little bit. Yeah, Quinn, if you could just keep me updated on when we're looking to go on, probably at least within 10 minutes, I'd appreciate that. Let's go ahead and go farther north. So we were getting questions from Otsego County, Crawford County, Roscommon County. Here's a look at it. So right up 75, right where US 127 and 75 come together, it does look like you're starting to see a few cells starting to develop. No active warnings for those counties, but again, look what's off to your south. And I know we were getting another question, I think, from Harrison. So there's that active cell, Clare 1015, Gladwin 1045. Let's just get another scan here of the radar, or at least... Yeah, there's, again, it's not much, but it's still there. So we'll have to see exactly how that behaves. So now we're starting to watch that. I don't like that updated scan. Quinn, if we could take that full, yeah, thank you. Right where we got that circled, just to the northeast of Rosebush. And it does look like this is going to clip northwestern Midland County and then even going eventually into Gladwin County. We'll have to watch that closely. And even still, this has been the cell that's moving through Clare County and now starting to move into Gladwin County. It has been a very big hail producer. We were talking about this cell all the way from Mecosta County, moving through Isabella County. Now we're starting to see it into Clare County, as well as now starting to get into Gladwin County. And yeah, right where we got that circled, right over US 10, right where Isabella and Midland counties come together. We'll be watching that very, very closely. See a few more questions about Mount Pleasant and Cadillac. Yeah, let's go up to Cadillac, Traverse City. I know we've still got a few more cells up that way. So here's Cadillac, here's Traverse City again. Active warning for Grand Traverse County, 10:30, and you're still talking about northern Wexford County. So even if we zoom in a little bit closer, Buckley, Kingsley, Mayfield, Chums Quarter, Traverse City, Acme, you're all technically still in that warning until 10:30. So current time, 9:45, we got about another 45 minutes. Just for the heck of it, let's go ahead and just take a look at the velocity. So notice here, all you see is red. So that tells me that the winds are going away from the radar. So no indications of rotation there, so that's great news. So we're primarily, at least into Grand Traverse County, just looking more at a damaging wind, hail, and heavy rainfall threat. Cadillac, Wexford County, again, just northwestern Wexford, near Mesick and including Buckley, until 10:30. There is a cell that it has just developed just to the west of downtown Cadillac. So if your travels take you along M55 towards Garlett's Corner, you'll probably run into that cell even near Boone. And just now, it looks like even Manton, you're still seeing that cell. Technically, Manton, you're not under the warning, but still does look like it's a pretty nasty cell. Let's go ahead and take a look at, we've been seeing some pretty good rain, even up towards Old Mission, going towards the Leelanau Peninsula, Sutton's Bay, North Point, Glen Arbor, Empire, Honor. No active warnings for Leelanau right now. Let me just put it into motion for you. Let me just do this over the next 15 minutes. All right, there we go. Yep, so Leelanau, you're seeing some pretty good rain. Again, no active warning for Leelanau County. Still the active warning for Grand Traverse, 10:30. Northwestern Wexford County, 10:30. Areas from Traverse City to Kingsley, at least a sturdy building away from doors and windows right now. Benzie County, no warning as of right now. Still some moderate to even heavy rainfall. Honored, Frankfort, Glen Arbor, Empire, towards the sand dunes. Lots of heavy rain moving in right now. Even towards, we'll go ahead and just take it down the Lake Michigan shoreline. Manistee, Onekama, no active warning, but you're still seeing at least some moderate rainfall. Going towards Mason County, Lake County. Yeah, we're going to have to watch this a little bit closer. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at velocity. Let me get GRs on here. Okay. Yeah, nothing too organized, but we are seeing a little bit of those colors coming together. So we'll have to watch this, even towards, in between 131 from going north towards Reed City. We'll have to watch that. Again, no active tornado warnings. I want to be very clear about that. If we have an active tornado warning, we're on the air, no questions asked. So that's what we got going towards Lake County. So we'll keep an eye on Baldwin. We'll keep an eye on Chase. We'll keep an eye on Reed City. Big Rapids, looks like you're about to have another round move through. Stanwood, looks like some light to moderate rain going throughout Newaygo County. Looks like they did drop the warning for Oceana and Muskegon. So we like to see that, but there are still these storms that are moving on shore, and they definitely are packing a punch. Muskegon, Muskegon Heights, Dalton, Norton Shores, just north of Grand Haven. So that's what we'll watch there. Let's go over to the west or the east side. Let me go ahead and put the radar back on here. So again, Sunrise side, Rogers City, Alpena, Harrisville, Hillman, Mile, not seeing much right now. We're going to continue to watch Roscommon and even Ogama County. West Branch, you're starting to see this move in your direction. And if this cell continues to hold, again, now we're talking mainly about eastern Clare County. I would say definitely if you are east of 127 into Clare County, and then now most of Gladwin County. This cell is starting to look pretty nasty. It does look like it's slowly starting to weaken. At least a lot of those pinks and purples, they're not as concentrated together, but we're definitely still seeing very heavy rainfall. Lots of lightning, lots of thunder, probably hail. This cell has had a history of hail. So again, we've got to just take a look at the chat, trying to keep a balance here. Even going over towards Pinconning, Northern Bay County, you're starting to see a little cell near Mount Forest, Beaverton, Gladwin. Looks like the worst is now starting to move out of Hatton and Harrison. If we could maybe get some confirmation on that. We have anyone watching there. Gladwin, Beaverton, Secord. This is right on top of you right now. You're talking about, again, that severe thunderstorm warning at least for another half hour to 45 minutes. Brittany hoping Grayling gets some rain. Yeah, there's definitely the chance going towards Crawford County. We'll have to see again how these cells still behave. Patricia saying the wind picking up in Harrison. Cody's saying we got thunder in Roscommon. Yep, definitely believe that. We'll just go ahead and zoom this out. So I'll take a wide view real quick. I'll go ahead and read a few comments. And again, I mentioned this earlier. Even if you think your comment might be silly or pointless or anything like that, we have several people watching, and they're joining and they're leaving and they're coming in and they're reading, and they might know somebody that where you're at, or they might know someone that's traveling somewhere. So this information is meant to help everybody. I think it's awesome that we can do this interactively and in real time. So I hope this is helping out some people. Let's see, Lori in Hawkins, Chase, rain, thunder, lightning, and windy. Yep, definitely believe that. We were just talking about that. Cassidy asking about Mount Pleasant. Yeah, so let's go ahead and go back. So better news for Isabella County, Mount Pleasant. Again, you were talking about that very strong cell that was moving through, especially the western portion of the county. As of right now, no active warning for Mount Pleasant. That cell is now just off to your north, but we are seeing more development just off to your south and west. So we're going to have to watch it. But as of right now, no active warning for Mount Pleasant. Alrighty, so I'm getting word that we've got to record 10 o'clock here pretty soon. We've got Adam Bartlemay in the studio, so we're going to get ready for that show. And if we do continue to have these severe thunderstorm warnings after, we will jump back onto stream. Again, if we have any active tornado warnings pop up, we will jump on air, no questions asked. But hopefully this was some helpful information. Continue to stay weather aware as we are going later into this evening. We're going to have the chance at least for these storms to be potentially severe up until early Saturday morning. And once the front clears, at least our chances for severe weather will diminish into early Saturday. But at least for the next few hours, things are probably going to be a little bit rowdy across northern Michigan. So thank you for joining. We're going to end this right now, but we're going to get to the 10 o'clock. And if we continue to have these active warnings, we will jump back on the stream. But thank you very much for everybody joining. Stay safe and have a great Friday night.